Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Agut Chaydesh, Chaydesh Tov. We are learning in Mishna Nedarim, Masechus Nedarim. We are up to Parak Aleph, Chapter 1, Mishnah Gimel, Mishnah 3. Okay. Now, this is an example of where a person, as we mentioned before, a person can make a neder by linking the object that he wants to make forbidden to a item that becomes forbidden through your speech. Meaning a classic example is a person says that this loaf of bread is like a carbon, either to me or to you, and he hasn't, and the way that he's expressing that he wants it to become forbidden is by linking it to an object that's forbidden to have benefit from. And it's something that is made by a person forbidden. It was beforehand permissible, and the person makes it into a carbon, the animal, and then it becomes forbidden to have benefit from. So one form of making a neder is to link the object that you want to make forbidden to a carbon, which is something that's forbidden to have benefit from. In our Mishnah, we're going to deal with statements that hint to an offering. They're not explicit being linked to a carbon, but it's being hinted to in a way that we say that it's an acceptable form of linking it to a carbon, and therefore the neder takes effect. So here we go. You ready? Ha'omer loy chulin loy oichalach. What person says to another person, not chulin, I will not eat that which is yours. Get that? That's a statement. Not chulin, okay, not chulin, I will not eat that which is yours. That means he's trying to forbid this loaf of bread that belongs to you on himself, but he's not saying it's like a carbon. That's not what he said, but he said it's not chulin. What's chulin? Chulin is your regular unsanctified food or object. And what's the opposite of chulin? Kaddish, hektish. The opposite of chulin is sanctified. So when he says, not chulin, that I won't eat from yours, what's he saying? If he's saying it's not chulin, then what is it? Hektish. So basically he's saying in a roundabout way, he's saying that it should be forbidden to me like a carbon. But if he's saying like a carbon, he says it's forbidden to me like not chulin. Okay, that's the first example. Now, the rest of the examples that are going to be given are examples of words that, again, allude to something that relates to a carbon. Now, the next example is, he says, loy kosher, loy oichalach. Not kosher, that I will not eat of yours. Okay, that not kosher, I will not eat that which is yours. All right, now, one thing that others understand this part of the Mishnah is you got to take the word kosher and take it out of the way we typically use it, right? Well, it's not completely that, but we talk about regular food, right? Is it kosher? Is it from a kosher animal? Is it slaughtered kosher? Has it been prepared properly? We use that word kosher. But actually the word kosher means fit. Fit. And loy kosher means not fit. What is the Hebrew term to say something is unfit by a carbon? Puzzle. That's the wording. The wording you use if you want to talk about it, if you want to say that a carbon is invalid or unfit, the word is puzzle. If it's fit, the word is kosher. And it seems that this word kosher and puzzle, the word kosher was used, it seems primarily or more for a carbon than the way that we use it, when it's talking about just being permissible. So loy kosher, loy oichalach, not fit, not kosher. I will not eat that which is yours. So if it's not kosher, then what is it?
Treif.
It's no. That's not the word to use. The word to not treif. That's our wording.
Word.
If it's loy kosher, what's the opposite of not fit? Unfit, which is puzzle. And these are terms that are, again, used regarding a carbon. So again, instead of saying like a carbon, I will not eat which is yours, you're saying not fit, that I will not eat of yours. I will not eat that which is yours like something that is unfit, meaning like a carbon that is unfit. So again, it's a kind of, very indirect and kind of complicated way of referring to a carbon, but we know that's what he is referring to. Okay? And the point of the Mishnah is going to be that all these work as a expression for a neder. The next example, loy dechei. Now, dechei is an Aramaic word, but the word dechei means permitted. That's what dechei means. So, loy dechei, loy oichalach, he's saying, not permitted, I will not eat that which is yours. I mean, that which is yours, I will not eat because it is like something not permitted. Okay? So, again, the word permitted or not permitted, dechei, or what's the opposite of dechei? I think it would be aser. Are again terminology words that are used regarding a carbon. So again, we say here the person, when he means to say not permitted, I will not eat of yours, means I will not eat of yours like something that's not permitted, referring to a carbon. He's linking what he's forbidding to a carbon, and therefore it's going to be a good vow. Now here we have to talk about something. Here we have to talk about the fact that this word permitted, and the opposite being not permitted, is clearly wording that's used not just for a carbon, right? You want to talk about something, you may eat it or not, you're going to say permitted or forbidden. That's the wording you're going to use. And therefore, what needs to be spoken out, which is spoken out by the Bartanura, is okay. The other words apparently are more related to a carbon, but this word clearly is not. And we know the rule is like this. We've been talking about saying something should be forbidden like a carbon. What if you say, I want this to be forbidden to you like horse meat? Okay? Horse meat is forbidden, right? You're linking it to something that's forbidden. The problem is, it's not forbidden because you make it forbidden. It's automatically forbidden. It's not that you made it forbidden like a carbon. And the only time you can make a neder by linking it to something is you link it to something that the same way you want to make this object forbidden, you made or someone makes that object forbidden. It's got to be something that's made forbidden, because that's what happens by a vow. You're making something permitted forbidden. So if you want to express that by linking it to something, you got to link it to something similar to that, something that was permissible and became forbidden. Okay, that's a carbon, but not something that's not kosher, as we say. If it's something like horse meat, if it's chazer, if it's nevei, if it's something not slaughtered properly, all these things are not becoming forbidden because you made them through your speech forbidden. So when you say loy kosher, it's not permitted, right? How do we know that you're not? How does that word relate to a carbon, meaning to a not permissible carbon? Maybe it means to a not permissible food, like something that's unkosher because it's just not kosher by Torah law. So the answer that's given is with the following rule. The following rule goes that if a person clearly wants to make a neder, he wants to make something forbidden, right? He's saying this should be like this. What's he doing it for? For the fun of it? He's doing it to make it forbidden. The only thing is, if he doesn't use the right wording, it's not going to happen. So this person is clearly making a vow. And what is he linking it to? Something not permitted. So we have a choice. Is he linking it to a sacrifice that's not permitted or to a food that's not permitted? Well, if you have a choice to say that the person intends to make a valid neder, or he's making an invalid neder, we're going to assume that he means to make the valid neder. If the expression has two meanings, one that will work as a neder and one that will not work as a neder, the assumption is that this person means to express it in a way that will work as a neder. And therefore, when he says loy dechei, when he says it's not permitted, he means not permitted like a not permitted sacrifice, or not permitted like a sacrifice. 1 second. Right. Not permitted like a sacrifice that's, a sacrifice not permitted to have benefit from. Now that he used not have benefit from it. And therefore, if we have a choice, so again, the other words seem to be more related to a carbon. This word is half and half. It could be a carbon, it could be something else. But we have a rule that if a person is clearly trying to make a neder, and we can say that he means to link it to something that would be a effective neder or an ineffective neder, we're going to say he means to link it to something that is an effective neder, and he means to link it to a carbon, not to something that's just forbidden. Okay, we will continue tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Chodesh Tov, a good Chodesh.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.